Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Simon.
And I am a rail enthusiast who loves going up and down the country, riding on the trains, filming and taking photos of them as well. These videos of my railway journeys can differ sometimes as they can go to plan or will go bad.
Welcome to Simon Trains Railway Journeys. Hello, welcome to Ilkley Station. Now, we are visiting 6 railway stations on this route, including Ilkley today, which are the following: Baildon, Guiseley, Manston, Burley-in-Wharfedale, Benredding and Ilkley. Now, the reason we are visiting these stations is because Northern had a 10p ticket sale, but it ran out 72 hours after it got released. So if you're looking for 10p tickets, don't bother. But I've used it so if you get from Crewe to Manchester and Manchester to Bradford for 10p. And also Leeds to Bradford as well. So we're going to have a bit of everything today. We're going to have a bit of snow, bit of rain, bit of sun, bit of wind, the lot. But we're going to be starting at Rugeley Trent Valley this morning about just after 6 o'clock. So you see the Caledonian Sleeper flying through. I'm now on the 0624 Rugeley Trent Valley to Crewe service. Now, before we get started with this blog, I just want to apologise about this clip because I'm on the West Coast Main Line. This train is really violently shaking while it's cruising down the West Coast Main Line to Crewe. Or should I say, up the West Coast Main Line to Crewe. Now, we started at Rugeley Trent Valley this morning because you did see GB Rail Freight, GBRF Class 92, 92020 working 1M16, the Fort William, Inverness and Aberdeen to London Euston Caledonian Sleeper with the Mark 5 coaches. Now, once we're at Crewe, we're actually going to be getting a northern service because as you see on my ticket, it's cost me 10p, so we're on a northern flash sale again. As I mentioned before, you can't get this ticket now. It was only like put up a certain day ago and then it sold out 72 hours later. So I'm actually going to be catching this train to Wilmslow even though it's going on to Liverpool Line Street. Now once at Wilmslow, I'm actually changing trains to get on the Wilmslow to Manchester Piccadilly service, which will get me there faster than the Liverpool service because it's going to go through the airport. So our next clip now will be at Crewe on our arrival. I'm now on board the 0713 to Liverpool Line Street. But I'm getting off at Wilmslow so I can get this faster service to Manchester Piccadilly because this service goes by Manchester Airport. Now, as you can see that I mentioned on the London North Western Railway service I was on, that's my ticket from Crewe to Manchester, which cost me 10p. Now what it allows me to do is it's allowing me to change at Wilmslow. So I've got an advance ticket here as you can see there, from Crewe to Wilmslow, 7:13. Then 7:48 Northern service from Wilmslow to Manchester Piccadilly, which I get to Manchester Piccadilly before this train even arrives in Manchester. So this is 386. I'll repeat that again, sorry, 319386. And this is going to take me to Wilmslow, so I'm going to join the coffee now.
You're not talking to Liverpool, sir, now?
No. As I just said, I'm actually going to Wilmslow. So let's enjoy this journey. Now made it to Wilmslow, and the train right across the platform is to go 7:48 to Liverpool Line Street, which is by train from here to Manchester Piccadilly. We're just going to board it now and leave Wilmslow. Now made it to Manchester Victoria. We're on 195104, which will take us to Bradford Interchange. But I think we're going to be leaving here about 5 minutes late. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock now. We should have left at 8:56. Anyway, after get to Bradford Interchange, I'm going to walk it to Bradford Forster Square to get my train to the first station of the day, Baildon. We're just about to leave now, which is good. So really we're going to be about 4 or 5 minutes late. I think I gave myself half an hour in Bradford. Also, we took the tram from Manchester Piccadilly to here. Right, we're now made it to Bradford, that's good news. Bad news is, after this you got, what time is it now? 10:06, 10 minutes to get to Bradford Interchange, get my ticket to Ilkley, and be on that train at 10:16. Now if I don't make that 10:16, because it has been snowing around in this area, and me and snow don't actually mix too well because I go slow. So, if I miss this 10:16 to Ilkley, Baildon will be off. And I'll go to Guiseley on the next one.
Welcome to the Ilkley train.
So we made the 10:16 to Ilkley, and even though this is a refurbished unit, the announcements are still the same, which is brilliant. I do like the old announcements on these 333s. This is 333014, which will take me to my station Baildon.
The next station is Shipley.
Just approaching Shipley, like the announcement said. But yeah, once we're at Baildon, we're going to have an hour there. And then we're going to be calling all stations on the route to Ilkley. And we're going to be filming at places like Guiseley, all stations to Ilkley basically. So, at least the plan's back on. The only thing that I did not realise that it was going to be snow today. So don't worry, this is not the Christmas episode, it's February.
Welcome to the Ilkley train.
This is the first station we visited today, Baildon. Now, this station only gets a half an hourly service between Bradford Forster Square and Ilkley. It has one platform because, as you see behind me, the other platform is a disused platform. It did used to have 2 tracks, but now it just has 1 track. Now, this station was actually owned by the Midlands Railway on the 4th of December 1876. However, though, this station actually closed on the 5th of January 1953. But it reopened again on the 28th of January 1957, but it didn't last very long because it closed on the 29th of April 1957. But it reopened again on the 5th of January 1973. Now, our next station will be Guiseley. Now, when we get to Guiseley, even though we've got the Bradford to Ilkley services stopping there, we also have the Ilkley to Leeds services stopping there. So we've got more trains from Guiseley onwards towards Ilkley. So we've got a few more trains to film, and I'm going to be leaving, I think, on the 11:26 to Guiseley. Over there, the sun's actually trying to come out, but I don't think it will today. Please come out, sun. We're now at station number 2, Guiseley. Now this station actually opened in 1865, originally being owned by the Midland Railway. There was a service to Ilkley until 1965, when the Arthington to Maidstone line closed under the Beeching Acts. The line was electrified between 1994 and 1995, while the station was largely reconstructed in 2002. But yes, this is Guiseley. So we get the Leeds Ilkley trains here, and we also get the Bradford Ilkley trains here. So we get about 10 trains an hour here roughly. But after this, I'm going to be leaving in probably about just over half an hour's time. So we get on to our third station, Maidstone.
Welcome to the Ilkley train.
I'm in this lovely waiting room at Maidstone. Now the platform is actually in that direction, but we do a quick history of Maidstone Station while we're here. It was opened in August 1865 by the Midland Railway on their line from Appley Junction to Burley-in-Wharfedale. from where the trains could travel either to Ilkley or Otley or by the Otley and Ilkley Joint Railway. The route to Otley was closed in 1965, which I mentioned at Guiseley, but the Ilkley line was listed for closure in the 1963 Beeching report, avoiding a similar fate, and finally reprieved in 1972. Electric services at this station started in 1994. Between 1883 and 1951, High Royds Hospital, which stood at the west of the line, was served by a half-mile long private siding from just south of Medicine Station. Medicine Station was redeveloped in 2000 as part of their general improvements for the Wharfedale Line by the West Yorkshire Passenger Transport Executive. The disused station building was brought back into use and now is a new ticket office, which is where we roughly are now. Now, the next station after Menston is Burley-in-Wharfedale. I think that's how you say it. If it's wrong, I do apologise, but anyway, going to fill some more trains and then move on to the next station. What the hell are you doing, you cat? Anyway, our train's coming in now. And now I'm at the next station. Fourth station of the day, Burley-in-Wharfedale. Now, as you can hear now, the wind is getting up. The rain's eased off, but the wind is now getting up because we're getting about 45 miles per hour wind shortly for here, especially at Ilkley. But the history of Burley-in-Wharfedale station, it was opened in 1865 and is located on the Otley and Ilkley Joint Railway. Now this was run by both Midlands Railway and the North Eastern Railway. 3 1/4 mile east of Ilkley, this station is located. The station is unstaffed and has been since October 1968. There was once a junction for the line to Leeds by Otley. This route closed in 1965 as a result of the Beeching Acts. Now the station building still stands here today, but it's privately owned. But I think it's in that direction at the end of that station. So we've got a train coming in a bit, going to film that coming in. And then we're going to move on to the next station. Now I'm going to have to pronounce this right. I think it's called Ben Rivlin or Riffingles. I'll pick it up anyway, but I do apologise about the pronunciations of the station names that I'm saying. I think it's called Ben Riffing. I'll get it right eventually. But anyway, let's fill some more trains. Right, something is going on, but I don't know what's going on yet. All I know is I've seen on Tracksy that everything around Shipley is all in red, signal wise. So something's going on at Shipley because the 1407 hasn't showed up yet. And the next train on that side saying the 1421, when the 1407 hasn't shown up to Ilkley. So we're going to see what's happening. But I'm hoping to try and get to the next 2 stations, and one of them is actually Ilkley. I want to try and get Ben Rivlin done, and I want to get Ilkley done. And as you can see, there's a nice spot on the screen because it's raining again. So according to Northern on Twitter, the line between Keighley and Skipton is flooded. And this was reported probably less than 20 minutes ago, probably like more 15 minutes ago. So that part of the line is flooded. Also there's some floods in other areas as well, but this line ain't affected. But I think some services actually do a Skipton to Bradford Forster Square, then they do a Bradford Ilkley afterwards. So we might have some cancellations on this route. But anyway, the next train to come in on that platform is the Leeds Ilkley. But like I said, I'm going to try and see what I can do, still get to Ben Riving, when that's how you say it, and still get to Ilkley. We're still going to try and film at these 2 stations. But when I'm at Ilkley, I'm actually leaving just after 5 o'clock. I'm not going back to Bradford, I'm actually going to Leeds to catch my train from Leeds back to Manchester that way. So hopefully the plan still goes on, but I don't know what's going to happen at the moment.
The next station is Burley-in-Wharfedale.
No, that's where we're just leaving. But anyway, this is the train I was supposed to catch at 14:37, but it is running a bit late. So I'm going to have a shorter time at the next station, then Riving or something like that. And then, so instead of an hour there, I'm just going to have like 45 minutes. And then I'll be moving on to Ilkley. So we're still going to have a plan, but it's not going to be an hourly stop at the next station, where it tells me where I'm going next. It's definitely not Burley-in-Wharfedale. This is Ben Ridding Station, that's how you say it. This station opened the 1st of July 1866. Now I'm not going to go into the full history of this station because there's not enough time, to be honest. Unfortunately, I don't know what train is going to come next, because the train I'm going to catch to Ilkley is running late again. It's going to start at Shipley, but the next one is not till like 10 to 4. As you can hear, that wind is absolutely up. That's the 40 odd miles per hour winds we're expecting. So we're going to fill some more trains here and then move on to Ilkley. this is Ilkley Station. This is the end of the line. Now this station opened in August 1865 as the western terminus of the Otley and Ilkley joint railway between the Midland Railway and the North Eastern Railway. Now, a further extension of the line was opened in 1888 to Skipton by the Bolton and Embassy Railway. But that station, through services, were closed to passage in March 1965. I'm sorry, I had to do this from Wikipedia straight off, sorry. But however though, this station still remained open, acted as a terminus. But it did have 4 platforms at one point. The 2 platforms now is part of the road across here. The terminating platforms did stay here. Now this is the end of the line. Now I'm going to be leaving about after 5 o'clock to get to Leeds. And as you can hear, my voice is a bit, because it's so windy. Really windy here. now made it to Leeds Station. Now the reason about Leeds Station is because when I was checking to Bradford, to Manchester Victoria, there was no 10p tickets available, but there was from Leeds. So that's why I'm travelling out of Leeds back to Manchester this evening. Behind me is 195118, and that will take me to Manchester Victoria. Right, we've run into a big problem now because we were stuck outside Todmorden on, I think, Viaduct Junction, just outside there, for nearly 25 minutes or so. About 28 minutes late, and there's a signalling problem at the Summit Tunnel, which is between, I think it's Littleborough and Wilmslow. Should remember that from the last blog I did. But anyway, we're going to be stopping just for the tour because there's a signal failure there. So we will be getting to Manchester late, and I will be missing the 20:01 to Crewe. Now I don't know what's going to happen when I get to Piccadilly because the next train to Crewe is a Transport for Wales service, but I can't get on that because my ticket is an advanced Northern 10p ticket. So I think the next one might be the 21:01. If I get to Crewe late, I'm going to miss the last train to Rugeley. So we're just going to have to wait and see what's going on when I get back to Manchester. Okay, so back at Manchester Victoria, this is a flaming disaster. Next train's in 8 minutes, so that's going to be here at 8:30. So it looks like I'm going to be on the 21:01 to Crewe, and that means I won't be able to get back to Rugeley Trent Valley. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm going back in Crewe at 21:58. I think the train to Rugeley Trent Valley leaves at 21:52, so I'm going to miss it by 6 minutes, all because of signal failure. Just pulling into Stockport now, even though my ticket says the 20:01 to Crewe. I've got this there little sheet of paper. Basically it says, accepted me for the 21:01 to Crewe. I got it from the ticket office, told them the story, what's happened, and they checked it out and everything was fine. Because unfortunately, as you know, I've got stuck outside Todmorden for like 25 minutes. We actually made it back in Manchester Victoria for about 45 minutes late, something like that. So I can get back to Crewe. I think there'll be a train at 22:18 that will take me to Stafford. Gets me there for 22:37, but that's it. There's nothing to Rugeley after that. There's only one way back to Rugeley, and that is the bus. I think there's a bus about 22:50. But it will get me back in my area just before, about a few minutes before midnight. So we're just going to see what's happened at Stafford. If not, I might have to get the bus back. I'm now back at Crewe now and I'm waiting for that 2218 to Stafford. Once I get to Stafford, I'm stranded. The last bus is at 2150. Now I'm going to go on to platform 12 because I did see a DBSO coach. So I think there's a test train at Crewe. So I'm going to have a quick look at that and then get the 2218 to Stafford. Okay, so that's 37,612 there, and the DBSO is 9714. Unfortunately, I can't get it because it doesn't leave Crewe till 11 o'clock. It's Derby RTC to Caldervale this is. So I'm going to get the 2218 now to Stafford. We're not far off Stafford now, so we're going to be there about 2240 and then see what's going to happen from Stafford, because like I said, there's no bus to take you back home now. Last bus was 2150 off Guiseley Square. There's no train because I missed that to Rugeley Trent Valley, and there's no point going by Birmingham because I'm going to miss the last train to Rugeley. Well, in fact, I have missed the last train to Rugeley from Birmingham. So the last train to Rugeley is about 22:20. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen if I end up having to pay for a taxi to get home. To be honest, I think Network Rail should get the bill because that's signal failure. That's my opinion, but I don't know. We're going to see how when I get to Stafford, see what happens. Nearly 11 o'clock now. I'm at Stafford and we'll just find out, see what's going on. See if we can get back on this ticket to Rugeley or not. Now in this waiting room at Stafford. Now, they just got back to me and apparently they had to ring Northern up to explain the situation, and Northern have kindly offered to put a taxi up for me. So I've just got to wait for this taxi to show up now, and this will take me to Rugeley Town Station, which is pretty on Northern. I know it's not their fault because signalling issues is Network Rail issues. But it's nice of Norfolk to put the taxi on for me. The only thing I've got to say about this trip is what a trip. We started at Rugeley Trent Valley at 6:24 in the morning, even though the train was 2 minutes late. Got me to Crewe. Then I got the 0713 Crewe to Wilmslow to change there to get a train to Manchester Piccadilly because it was the fastest service. Then we got a train from Manchester Victoria to Bradford. Okay, yes, I did get into Bradford a bit late and I thought the plan for Baildon was off, but no, it was back on. And we managed to film at 6 railway stations. Now, see if I remember this. Baildon, Guiseley, Menston, Burley-in-Wharfedale, Ben Ridding, Ilkley. Yes, I remember them 6. So, Baildon was good, even though it had snow. Guiseley was good, the snow was wearing off. Menston was good as well. Managed to get a mixture of class 331s, 333s and 322s during this trip that I had. Then we went to Burley-in-Wharfedale, and that's where the problem started because there was flooding between Keighley and Skipton, but they did manage to start moving the trains around. But they did leave a few cancellations, but luckily my train wasn't cancelled to Ben Ridding. Okay, yes, the wind was up at Ben Ridding, but again, there was late running trains. My train wasn't cancelled to Ilkley. Got to Ilkley, they cancelled the Bradford train. My train I arrived on started at Shipley. Still got some trains at Ilkley done, but it was windy. That's why I had to do the intro on the train, on the platform. And everybody else was alright. Then I got the train to Leeds, which was planned. Got to Leeds, got the 1812 off Leeds, and that's when the real problems started. Because I honestly go on these adventures and I don't know the outcome of the journey. I don't know what happens. And the end of this blog actually proves that theory. I do not know what happens till it happens. So, we got stuck outside Todmorden for about 25 minutes on Baildon Junction. We also had to stop before Summit Tunnel because of the signal failure, which is a Network Rail issue, not Northern. Even though passengers will see this as a Northern problem, it's not their problem, because signalling is part of Network Rail's infrastructure. So Network Rail are responsible for it. And then we got back to Manchester Victoria 45 minutes late, and I did miss that Transport for Wales service because I got the tram back. I was on the 2101 to Crewe, missed the last train back to Rugeley, got to Stafford, and then I managed to ask the platform staff at Stafford. I missed my last train, told them what's happened, and they managed to get on the phone to Northern, which they were actually going to get on the phone to West Midlands trains, but they managed to get on the phone to Northern, and Northern nicely put a taxi on for me, which they did have to do that, but it was generous of them, because even though it wasn't their problem, they were happy to do it. But unfortunately though, it's now not Northern by Arriva, it's actually Northern Trains Limited, because the franchise has been taken over by the government on March 1st. And March 1st is actually when I got the reply back off Northern about my delay repay. And I've got some free tickets on the way, so that is good. But anyway, I'm going to wrap things up now because I have been babbling on for about 4 minutes. So, the next blog will be a 6-parter. This is the trip that I go to Scotland next. Now I've already got the plan sorted, so I know where I'm actually doing. I'm going to try and leave as much of the central belt as I can, so we actually go a bit further afield on this Scotland trip. So my social media stuff will be at the end of the credits. So I thank you for watching this blog. This blog has been terminated with delay, unfortunately, because it's actually March 4th today. Thank you for watching Simon Trains, and we'll see you for Scotland.